Have you ever found yourself at the center of a storm where a single moment could either shatter your beliefs or empower you to rise higher? Imagine being publicly challenged on your values, yet instead of backing down, you transform that moment into a celebration of conviction and grace. This is the captivating story of Karoline Leavitt, a young leader who faced an unexpected confrontation that would define her not just as a politician, but as a symbol of resilience and unwavering faith. Let's set the stage. Karoline Leavitt, a name that has increasingly echoed in the corridors of political debate, stood confidently after a high-stakes press conference. She is a vibrant advocate for unity, freedom of speech, and the importance of nurturing differences in society. Karoline had just articulated her vision for a better world, tackling issues that resonate deeply with many: the need for inclusivity, respect for diverse opinions, and the importance of open dialogues in a time that often feels divided. She speaks not merely as a politician, but as a voice for young people everywhere, showcasing immense courage and a refreshing perspective in a landscape that often feels stale and traditional. As the applause faded from her comprehensive press conference, during which she had articulated her mission to create a more inclusive society, a familiar voice pierced the air. A liberal TV host, loaded with questions and an agenda to challenge her, seized the opportunity to provoke. "Take it off," he said, his tone dripping with contempt and derision. He was referring to the necklace that hung around her neck, a simple yet powerful emblem of her faith. In that split second, the atmosphere shifted. Tension ran thick, like electricity before a storm, as the crowd held their breath. They were witnessing not just a political exchange, but a clash of ideologies. A confrontation that would explore the very essence of belief, identity, and respect. Karoline's heart raced, yet her facade remained calm. She was not just another politician. She was a fighter, a warrior of conviction. Having grown up in humble circumstances, faith had always been her compass. Her parents instilled in her a profound understanding of strength, one rooted not in volume, but in quiet conviction. This idea of faith as a foundation, rather than an imposition, has been her guiding light through her journey. As she prepared to respond, she drew upon every lesson she had learned over the years. "You want me to take it off?" she began, her voice steady, but filled with the warmth that invites dialogue rather than conflict. "This necklace symbolizes my faith, my relationship with God, and the strength I draw from that." With this response, Karoline reframed the confrontation entirely. This was no longer just about an article of jewelry. It was about ideals. It became an iconic moment that signified something larger than herself, a moment that encapsulated the struggle of many who wear their beliefs openly. As she stood her ground, the room grew tense. People shifted in their seats, unsure of what would unfold. Here was a young woman on the brink of redefining the conversation, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Karoline's intention was crystal clear. She wasn't here to play by the rules of the antagonistic dialogue. She was determined to elevate the conversation. "Are you truly upset about a piece of jewelry? Or are you unsettled by what it represents?" she continued, her tone not combative but curious, inviting a moment of introspection. In that moment, she shared a fundamental truth. Often, the real issues at stake in conversations are not the surface arguments, but the deeper values that lie beneath. Her question lingered in the air, challenging not just the host, but everyone in the room to reconsider their positions. Then, she delved deeper. "This necklace isn't merely an accessory," she asserted, holding it gently, as if it were a sacred treasure. "It's a reminder of the strength I've summoned during my darkest hours. It embodies the values I stand for: love, kindness, and an unwavering belief that every person holds inherent worth, regardless of beliefs." The room fell into a hushed silence, her words resonating deeply even with those present who might have dissented. Karoline's ability to articulate the essence of her faith while being respectful to differing opinions displayed a remarkable emotional intelligence. Instead of combating her opponent's stance with aggression, she invited compassion into the discussion, an approach that is increasingly rare in today's polarized environment. "I'm sorry if my necklace makes you uncomfortable," she continued, thoughtfully, capturing the attention of everyone in the room. "But I wonder, why does it offend you so much? Are you really angry because of something so small? Or is it something more profound?" This pivotal moment serves as a transparent lens through which we can understand the complexities of faith, belief, and personal identity. Karoline didn't merely react. She prompted reflection, encouraging those around her to look within and challenge their biases, creating a space for dialogue instead of division. It was an empowering stance, not just for her, but for everyone who has ever felt marginalized for their beliefs. But Karoline didn't stop there. With each passing moment, she was carefully and eloquently dismantling the preconceived notions that surrounded faith in public discourse. "I don't wear this necklace to impose my beliefs on anyone," she affirmed. "God grants us free will, the right to choose our own paths, and I deeply respect that. This necklace is a reminder of my journey, of the battles I've faced, and the grace I've received." Her words transformed the narrative from a clash to a lesson, a reminder that, at the core, everyone deserves respect, regardless of their beliefs. This was not merely an advocacy for her faith, but a call to acknowledge and honor the beautifully diverse tapestry of belief that makes up the fabric of society. The room continued to hang on her every word, and the tension that initially existed began to dissipate, replaced with a sense of reflection and connection. Standing tall and unwavering, Karoline continued, "If my faith offends you, then perhaps it's not my necklace that needs reconsideration. Maybe it's your own understanding of faith, belief, and unity that requires exploration." Here, she was calling for an examination of the self, urging listeners to confront their own biases and discomfort, thereby elevating the discussion beyond personal grievances. The implications of her statements were profound. They highlighted a larger societal issue, the need for open conversations about beliefs in a world where many feel vilified for simply existing authentically. Karoline acknowledged that faith, spirituality, and personal convictions play a significant role in shaping an individual's character and choices. In that moment, the audience began to grasp the essence of her advocacy. Embracing differences should not incite conflict. Rather, it should foster understanding and compassion. Unity, she declared, isn't about erasing our differences. It's about embracing them. As she spoke, an air of recognition swept through the room. Here was a young leader offering a fresh perspective. That diversity of thought and belief is not a hindrance to harmony. It is a vital component of it. Each person's experience, every belief, contributes to a greater understanding of humanity. The unique stories that each of us carries are what make life rich and meaningful. This necklace may symbolize my faith, but what truly unites us is found in our treatment of one another. Her emphasis on treating one another with kindness pierced through any remaining tension. People could feel a shift, almost a collective sigh as her words settled in. She reinforced her point with unwavering conviction. "If you disagree with me, let's talk about it. But I will never hide who I am or apologize for my beliefs. Nor would I ask you to. Our differences should not divide us. They should strengthen our conversations." It was a bold proclamation, one that beckoned for a new standard in public discourse, one where civil engagement thrives regardless of differing opinions. Those who had entered the room with a preconception of hostility now found themselves reevaluating their understanding of faith and conviction and what it means to accept one another's differences. Karoline's address was not solely directed at her challenger. It became a universal message echoing in the minds of everyone present. A call for compassion and acceptance in a world that often seems more intent on discord. The applause that erupted was not just an acknowledgement of Karoline's message. It was a celebration of the courage it took to confront the moment with grace and dignity. The liberal host, perhaps caught off guard by the depth of her response, could only nod in acknowledgement, a silent admission that he'd underestimated the strength and wisdom before him. It was a powerful climax to an exchange that started in animosity, but ended with remarkable reflection. What happened in that room was not merely a rhetorical victory for Karoline. It served as a clarion call for understanding in a time when divisiveness often overshadows dialogue. It underscored the importance of standing firm, not with aggression, but with empathy and respect for one another's journeys. Karoline offered a lesson not just in faith, but in how to approach those whose beliefs differ from ours, encouraging listeners to challenge prejudices and engage in heartfelt conversations. As we reflect on Karoline Leavitt's courageous stand, we must ask ourselves, how often do we face our own challenges with the same grace? How do we respond when confronted with our beliefs or forced to justify them? Are we willing to engage in conversations that push us beyond our comfort zones? In enacting such principles, we can form connections, build bridges, and create environments that honor the diversity of thought, belief, and identity. Karoline's story resonates with us because it exemplifies an age-old truth. Genuine strength lies not in loudness or aggression, but in quiet resilience and the willingness to engage in meaningful dialogue. This moment wasn't merely a personal win for Karoline. It became a shared victory for everyone who cherishes the values of inclusivity, kindness, and understanding. In a world that often seems hostile to diversity, there is a pressing need for conversations that encapsulate these very values. Every encounter we have is an opportunity to create a ripple effect of compassion, understanding, and respect. Moreover, Karoline's journey from question to confrontation to resolution exemplifies a learning curve many can relate to. It compels us to examine our own reactions to differing beliefs. Are we quick to defend, or are we willing to listen? Are we inclined to attack, or can we approach with genuine curiosity? A single conversation, when conducted with openness and respect, can alter perspectives and encourage transformative outcomes. As the narrative unfolds, we can't help but acknowledge the storytelling aspect of this moment, a moment that resonates with the core of human experience. It reminds us that everyone is fighting battles unseen, and that our differences should serve as a path to greater understanding rather than a source of contention. So, as we conclude this remarkable story, remember the lessons we can draw from her experience. Let's carry forward the torch she has lit. Let's engage with one another, whether we agree or disagree, with a spirit that fosters understanding rather than division. If you've enjoyed this story of courage, resilience, and faith, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you have said in Karoline's position? Share your insights in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you found it inspirational. Your support means the world to us, and together, we can create a community that uplifts one another. Make sure to subscribe for more empowering stories and discussions that challenge us to think deeply and act boldly in our lives. Let's continue to explore the stories that ignite our spirits and reflect the strength we can find in our beliefs. Join us next time as we delve into another inspiring tale of extraordinary individuals who remind us of our capacity for greatness when grounded in understanding and respect. Thank you for being part of this journey, and until next time, keep striving for unity in diversity. Let's continue to peel back the layers of what defines us as individuals living in a multicultural society, ensuring that our conversations are marked by empathy and respect while challenging ourselves to seek understanding. Because, ultimately, our strength lies in our ability to connect through the common threads of humanity.